Hi there. In this video I'm going to show you how I did the watercoloring on this image for this little Get Well card that I made using the Cadoodle stamp set. I used watercolor paper and the aqua painter to get the color and just pull color in from my markers. So I'm beginning with the watercolor paper. I just have a tiny little piece here. Watercolor paper is great for this because it doesn't bend and buckle when it gets wet, and I'm using Stays-On Jet Black ink to stamp my image so that it will be permanent and it won't run when I use the aqua painter on it. So I'm going to first stamp my image. So there's my cute little rhino. And then to color it in, I'm going to move this camera in a little bit, this lens down, so that you can see it a little closer. See if I can get that to where you can see it better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by using my basic gray marker, and I'm just using the paintbrush tip, and I am going to just outline these edges of the sections that I want gray. Okay, that's pretty good. Once I have that outlined, then I'm going to take my aqua painter, and an aqua painter is basically a paintbrush, really. It's got this paintbrush tip, and then this the top screws off so that you can then put water inside the reservoir down here. So I have already done that. Aqua painters come in two sizes. It comes in a pack of 2, and there's a 12mm tip, which is the one I'm using. That's the smaller one, and then there's a 15mm brush size. So we're using this little one because we have so many tiny little spaces that we're going to get into. So just to test to make sure I've got water running, I can see that the water's coming out, and then I'm going to start by just blending in this marker that I just put on here and just pulling some of that to the center of this section. You just break down that line so you don't have that marker line in there. And if you feel like you get too much ink on your paintbrush, just do it over here on your scrap paper to clean it off. I feel like I've got a lot of water flowing through here. Depending on how tight this is screwed on, sometimes I think the water comes out a little faster, and you can adjust that. If you feel like the water's getting too heavy, just wipe a little. I'm just wiping a little off on a paper towel. And I'm just taking the part that I drew on there and just sort of breaking down that ink and moving it around. And I'm leaving it a little lighter in the center because that's what gives it kind of that dimension. Okay, now I can add, I mean that's a good start, but then if I want the edges darker, if I want to get more definition, I can come back here with this marker again and bring in more color. And you just keep blending that until you get it looking how you want it to look. And then also, as this dries, it will lighten up a little bit. Okay, so now I want to switch over to my next color. One thing that I like to do is, besides just adding the color right to the image, I take a glass block and I'm going to apply a little bit of this Pool Party ink to the glass block. It's just a way for me to set it down so that I can pick it up with this aqua painter. So I'm making sure that it's clean, and then I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this blue, and I'm going to use that for his shirt. So I'm going to start by putting a kind of a layer of this Pool Party down. Okay, and then after I get the Pool Party on there, I'm going to take a little Island Indigo and put that just along this edge here because I'm going to blend that in. And that is what is so nice about this, is that I can just pull that color in. I can take as much as I want. If it's getting too dark, I just wipe a little off. And this is just how you bring that shading in. See how nice that shades, so that you have a little bit of depth there. And you can add as much or as little as you want. So there's his shirt. And then I used Peach Parfait for the bird. There's the bird. And then I used Melon Mambo for the heart. Okay, then on like his horn, I just took the gray marker and filled that in, and I'll blend it a little bit after I'm done. Same with his toes. Just added a little bit of dark gray to that, and his nose, his little horn here. And then you can just go back and blend some of these colors if you're wanting to just make sure that those are all blended nicely. I just want to pull a little more of this Pool Party and I missed this part of his shirt. Okay, and then I just left his bandage white so that would show up. Then on this, the way that I did this card was I did add a little bit of Old Olive down here and a little bit of So Saffron at the top just to give it some shading. And the way I did that was, again, I put a little bit of ink down on this glass block. So Saffron and Old Olive. Okay, so I'm going to just pull a little bit of my Old Olive, and I put that down here by his feet. and then I just diluted it a little bit so that I could sort of move that color around a little, and it just gives it a background. And then I came back with the So Saffron and very lightly brought in a little bit of sunshine with the yellow. I actually did pull a little more green down in around here because I cut this out with a with the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Okay, so you can add as much shading or color to this as you would like. I like the dimension this gives the images. The first time I used the aqua painter, it did take me a little time and practice to get the feel of it, just to get used to the water, the flow of the water. But once you have it down, it's not hard at all, and it's a really fun way to add nice color to your images. Email me if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.